God damn it.
Fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna start link bombing.
Stab your dad to escape hell.
Okay.
But I like my dad.
We are officially
What about fathers?
live.
But
What are
do
we
you
doing
want to
with
get out
fathers?
of hell?
No, I like it here.
Okay.
How many times do we have to tell you this, old man?
A line from this video just made me like real in retail anger. You can buy
Read.
cornflake juice at your local retailer. Just ask an employee if they have it. If they say they don't, just continue to ask them if they have it, becoming louder and more irritated each time.
Excuse me, cornflake juice?
Don't question it.
I am going to question it.
Well, that's not the topic. Are you gonna tell me you're gonna get off topic today, Mythosia?
Are you surprised?
A little
even-
bit, considering it's you.
What even is a topic? Why do we
Usually
keep
something
getting
you
off
have,
of it?
usually like something you put on the surface of something to make it taste better or look better.
No, that's topical.
No, that's when something's important to the current matter.
Okay.
Or when something is applied directly to the forehead.
God, I hated those commercials.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
Thing is, that stuff did not work. They just did the commercials that way to get it in your head so people would frickin' try it.
So they could get it in your head on, apply directly to the forehead.
I'm about to apply my hand upside your head.
Remember, folks, drink water.
Apply directly to the forehead.
Remember, folks, apply directly to the forehead. Your water.
Huh, that's neat. In one of the servers I'm sharing, or the final server I do link bomb in, they now have a thing where if people are live on Twitch, it puts them up near the top of it. Neat.
Oh, hey, the Infinite Skull Room. That's what my bathroom looks like.
It's a room of infinite skulls.
It takes a really long time to walk there.
That sounds like... I don't know where I was going with this.
Like, it takes an infinity long time to walk there, but luckily infinity is also subsequently nothing. So when you try to perceive infinity, it's the same thing as if nothing happened.
Yeah, okay. I'll pretend I know what's going on.
Alright, link bomb is completed.
Theoretical physics and perceptions of reality.
Yeah, okay, that sounds smart.
The fact that in some theoretical physics, infinity is the same as nothing.
Eh?
Sure.
It's a weird thing to think about. Link bombs are done?
Yee.
Is Armored not here? Well, that answers that question.
Nope, fuck. Giant's gone.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna go get a snack before game starts.
Okay.
Or rather, I don't know, maybe I'll find a snack. I'm just gonna go refill my water bottle. But if he gets back, start introducing yourselves.
I do what I want.
I
Ah! I thought you were dead.
The news of my death was greatly exaggerated.
Damn it! I mean, great. I'm
But
so happy.
yes, I can tell you're ecstatic.
You're static.
Zap, zap.
Ah!
Anyway, hello everybody, I am Armored Hunter. I played the Dancy Boy Dervinje. The dance with the dance.
Of course, right as I have to mute myself, the AC kicks on. Hello, everybody. I am the Danny Boop. I am the one who do the strum, and I play the Morgan who had an interesting encounter previous session. And I'd like to go ahead and apologize for if I sound low energy. I just started a new job today, and I had to get up at 5 in the morning for it. So
That is what we call an oof.
yeah, but you know, after I got off work, I was able to take a little nap, so I think I'm gonna be okay for session.
I am Failtros. I play the Failsy. And I got a jar of brains. I've got a jar of brains. I got a jar of brains. And guess who it is?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
Damn it. Why not?
That guy doesn't know anything. I don't want that.
You don't know what horrors lurk inside the mind of one Charles Entertainment Cheese. His power is infinite. Oh yeah, I gotta do a thing. I am Mythosia.
We got a full sentence out of him.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we just did.
No, you didn't. Fake news.
I'm glad we don't do any kind of like face cam stuff because I stood up and lost both my pants and underwear somehow.
What
Oh,
the shit?
Hey then.
Oh boy.
Literally, I just stood up and they both just went whoop.
Oof.
Gravity said, "These are mine now."
Yeah,
Thank
apparently.
you.
I was just like, I like looked around myself, just like I don't think I got caught on anything. But yeah, have you introduced yourselves yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Alrighty then. Does everyone have water?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some form of consumable liquid which will maintain your hydration throughout the game?
Yeah. Definitely.
I have mango sparkling water, and I had taken antacid, so I'll probably be muting more often than I normally do to avoid burping on stream.
Just make your burps sound weird, then you can market them. Like I do.
Nah.
Marketing.
And by marketing, I mean pay me this much a month and I'll stop burping in your ears.
Give me money.
Money. Anyways, alright then. Well, if everyone's good to go.
Yeah.
Per the norm, I don't know if this has been addressed yet, we don't know if we're going to have an Andy tonight. We will see. But we will play on as it may. That being as it stands, though. I'm just gonna yawn real quick. That was unnecessary of me, but I guess you had to do it. We left off last session with the party spending a day wandering about Petalfall, having finally alleviated themselves of any potential concerns to be encountered in the city itself. Now finally able to take a bit of downtime to just breathe in and breathe out. Unfortunately, in some of your wanderings, you ended up encountering some interesting individuals from your past. which led to a discussion and a planned meeting for the next day. That is where we're picking up today, as you all wake in the morning, feeling some of you rested and other of you a little hungover.
Just a little.
Yeah. Just because I feel like it's a slightly more humorous way to start. Dravinche, you wake up, you just in a pile. You don't even necessarily recognize everyone around you right now. There's like 4 or 5 people around you right now.
Just imagine he wakes up pushing a person off of him as they flop from the pile onto like a bed or a very soft carpet.
Yeah, it's a bed. It's a big bed.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you are, without a doubt, feeling the effects of a very strong hangover. Alcohol and sugar, definitely the main things that causes a hangover. And your last night had many of both. You want some water, some coffee, and something to eat, and quiet.
He'll go and, putting his pants back on, go and
There's somewhere.
they're somewhere. He finds a pair of pants and puts them on just so that he can go and request. Does this place have room service?
For your particular scenario, they can work something out.
He would just basically request them that they bring a full, like, pots of coffee and water and then go back to the room and just take some time to help to
Become alive again.
Yeah, take some time to become alive again and try working through the like fog thick enough to cut with a knife that's going on in his head right now to try to figure out, like, okay, that's where that is, that's where that is.
What the hell did I do last night?
You just wake up, there's a horse next to you. You don't know where it came from. You don't own a horse.
You're in a hospital.
The horse is in the hospital. What's it gonna do? John Mulaney.
Precisely.
It is the horse that blesses you for good health.
I think about that, and all I can think is a horse sneezing on someone.
God bless you.
Yeah, it's you take some time to recollect yourself, but you managed to find all your stuff. You weren't robbed in the night. Your coin purse is a little lighter, but not much. You think you maybe spent, like, in total, like, because you bought wine and stuff and ales and everything like that for a lot of people. You think you spent, like, maybe in total 1 platinum over the course of last night, which is a lot of money, but you partied pretty hard with quite a few people.
Yep. and he's going to make sure that there's stuff set up so that when the other people awake, that they can have the stuff to become alive too.
Yeah, not as much of a little bit less of a concern for the others. They come to slower than you and manage to get themselves up and out. Some of them commenting on the good time they had, other ones just groggily stumbling away after collecting themselves. But yeah. While you are getting yourself fully prepped and ready to face the day after quite a night, cut back over to the cart and the people staying within it. I don't know if any of the other party members specifically stayed in the inn last night, but I don't remember anyone mentioning that they would be on the previous game.
I don't think so.
Elsie, for some baffling reason, decided not to go to the party.
She was too busy taking notes on the buzzkin.
Also, to be fair, she didn't even know that there. She probably didn't even know that there was a party, because Da Vinci didn't announce that he was going to do that. He just left the group and party.
I hear a squeaky mouse toy.
So she's probably sitting there with Ori Kid at the desk, explaining the mind reading spell, and wondering if he can help catch stray memories as she consumes brain.
Yeah, basically trying to work with Ori to figure out if they can help you with the their buzzkin's innate ability to detect thought. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to?
Yes.
Fair enough. I should get some dice out. Move laptop, you're sitting on top of my dice bag. A little handful of dice in case I need them. Alright.
Shut.
Alright. Alright, so. Memories to consume. So you're gonna expend a spell slot to cast this?
Yes.
Alright. Let's roll your ability check to see if you gain anything from Boris.
So that's just charisma check.
Yep. See if you can get a 15 plus.
Double checking. I do not have a dominate fate point, so boop. 15.
There you go. Just exactly what you needed. Alrighty then. Let's see what you get this time. Roll this. See if it's an important memory or not.
I have 7 bits of brain left.
Yeah.
He had a fat head.
I mean, you don't eat that much whenever you do this spell. Okay, what you see in this moment, for the sake of visual clarity, there's a bit of a sepia tone filter on this, so you know it's an older memory. I mean, how else would you know if it's old if it's not sepia tone?
Okay, fair.
But you actually flash back into his memories of him transporting you. And it's one of those things where immediately you want to pull out of this. But for the sake of gathering information, you stay in just long enough to see if anything important happens. And you do see that you're currently being walked to another wellspring. This is going to reveal another location of a wellspring that exists in the world.
Ew.
One of the first well springs that you visited outside of the church. That was along your path to your eventual secondary kidnapping / rescue at the hands of the Zemotus Temple.
So we can pretty much confirm that one is dead. Or is that one still alive?
You don't know what actually happened to the one wellspring in the church to make it dry up. But hard to say. Even your own memories of this event are a little foggy. But you come out of this knowing where a location for another wellspring might be.
Damn you, Dravinci. Why'd you make me get rid of his head? I want to punch it now.
You can punch his brain.
She's tempted to, but no.
You don't want to give it a little...
No, I probably need that.
Alrighty then. So while
Thankfully,
Fails is eating... Sorry, go on.
Thankfully, Failsy's all the way in the inn, still nursing a hangover, so life punched him for her.
Alright. While Fails is eating brain and Dravinci is coming into the waking world as a human being, Morrigan and Brimstone. What be ye do?
That's a good question, Mega Man. God.
I was about to say, if you need a minute to think, I mean, mine's not much, but I can go first to give you an extra minute.
Yeah.
Morgan, for the morning, would pretty well just be getting herself ready. Like, you know, make sure she looks presentable. Even though Andy's not going to be... hopefully Andy will join the session, but if they're not able to, sucks. But as Morgan had promised Keta the night before, she puts on the blouse she got for herself the day before. Like you and I discussed previously, I just feel like it's, you know, just a nice silk blouse. Nothing fancy, but it looks nice. It's presentable.
Yeah. Nothing too fancy, but looks nice enough to make yourself presentable to the average people. Probably wouldn't want to be wearing just it if you were looking to meet up with some aristocratic sorts, but your dad ain't no aristocrat.
Yeah.
He wasn't a particularly fancy man when you knew him either. Can't imagine that's changed.
Yeah, but, you know, being presentable for, you know, first real full meeting with your dad in 15 years is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know, it's a relationship that can be mended.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll do that. Not really bother with doing any of her makeup. Just pull her hair up and out of her face.
So the day is the day?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if from her room, since she would have had her door open, she could hear Failsy's mutterings about the brain.
Well, no, your rooms are individually soundproof if the doors are closed.
Well, I said she had her door open.
That's what I'm saying. I think Failsy does that in her room.
Oh, okay.
People don't seem to like Failsy eating brain in the common room.
Fair enough. Okay, I didn't know if Failsy was set up in the common room or in her room, so...
By people, fails, he means brimstone. What?
Everyone seems to be a bit horrified at her when she does that. It's like, how could you?
Lee's just over here like, that's nasty. It's not even cooked.
That's gross.
That's because you won't cook it for me.
That's because I don't have a recipe for diet. I don't have a recipe for human brain. I just spit all over my screen. Lee's voice doesn't usually make me spit. But yeah. Jamel just sort of like idly walks in to check on you. You can hear like the little buzzkin in the background just going, "Oh, dusty, dusty, dusty," as it sweeps along the floor. You know it's not dusty at this point, but it seems still obsessed with getting it clean again.
If that one doesn't calm down, it's probably gonna sweep a groove into the floor.
Oh, she's at least moving around a little bit. I don't think she'll sweep a groove.
Fair
We might
enough.
need a new broom if she's going to keep that up.
Yeah, she might wear that down.
How are you feeling?
Nervous as hell.
Seems fair.
And also I didn't sleep the best because of this last night, but... I made a promise.
I can only imagine. I mean, I never met my father. I don't know the full amount of what this is you're doing, but it seems like how you talked. You haven't seen him in a time either.
Haven't seen him since I was 15.
Forgive me, but I don't know how old you are.
I'll be turning 31 here soon.
So, quite some time.
Yeah. And there's some history there. I can explain it to you if you want. Might take a few minutes though.
I'd rather not have you go over it before your first meeting with him in a long time. I would not want to sour the experience.
Fair enough. Maybe after. I don't know.
I'm sure you can regale me when the time is appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, what you said makes sense. Better to not go over it again before seeing him.
Might taint your impressions.
As if last night's encounter couldn't.
She gives you a little, like, shake from one shoulder to another, like, eh. We'll be here if you need us, Morgan.
Right, and I'll let you to it if you and Felsley need to get ready.
She just gently looks down at herself. I mean, I'm dressed.
Fair enough.
I don't do a whole lot to get ready.
Oh, Felsley might want to change, I don't know. It's up to her.
I would want her to wash her face at least, given I know what she's doing in our room right now.
Fair point.
Alright.
I think I'll just sit in here with the door open for a little longer. You go ahead and Do anything you need to do.
Alright. Maybe I should go check on Darvinche. He's out all night.
He's probably hungover.
Maybe I'll send Brimstone to do that. I don't know if he's working on anything right now. Alright. I'll see you in a little bit.
See you in a bit.
She just turns and walks out of the room. You watch as the little buzzkin like actually comes into your room for the first time. She's like, "Oh, it's very dusty in here." He starts sweeping.
Morgan just lets her.
Yeah, she's a little too cute to deny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice that as she sweeps, though, the dust isn't like getting brushed around. It's just sort of disappearing.
Above game, I imagine she's casting Prestidigitation, because I think that's a cantrip artificers can get.
Yeah.
In game, Morgan's just thinking, huh, neat trick. She's not saying that loud, that's just what she's thinking.
Very dusty, very clean, very good. Get it clean.
Failsy is adding to the list of her extensive list of things to do. That just will not stop going.
Always.
Getting,
Always gets longer.
Getting her new Buzzkins, like, workstations. Like, I guess a potion is or general artificer kit.
It'd be like an alchemy kit. Stuff like that. Alchemist
And-
tools.
Artificers, they get a lot of shit.
Yeah, but they actually need to have the materials rather than just the skills.
Correct. Oh yeah, they do use their tools as
Yep.
casting.
And some books in that. Some new books for enchantments and materials to do enchantment.
Yeah. Oh, Brimstone,
Hmm.
could you by chance go see if Darvinche is still alive?
Yeah, I can go check on him.
Alright, thank you very much. I'm going to make sure Failsy is not eating brain in front of new people. I swear, every time with this lady. She just walks towards her and just Failsy's room.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty then. So you're gonna get out of the car and go check on Darvinche?
I guess.
Alright. You do so. You start to notice something, though.
Hmm.
The town is a little bit more lively than you've seen it the last couple of days. There are people moving around the streets, and different things are being set up. Like, very much in particular, you start noticing that there are several vendors who are setting up these cords. Oh, my screen just went black.
Oh,
Did I die?
No?
Oh, nope. My computer just tried to go to sleep.
weird.
I forgot. It can do that now. But yeah. You see various vendors and shop owners who are currently setting up these little cords with bulbs on them. Like little crystal bulbs. Just draping them around their shops in various ways. You're not exactly one very versed in things like this, but even to your eye, you'd have to assume they're getting ready for a festival.
Hmm.
But you disregard that as you head towards the tavern and find a Dravinche who is just now being able to fully get himself back into being a human.
Just nursing a cup of coffee, sitting in a corner, eyes closed.
Well, you look like shit.
Mm,
And that tells me why.
mm-hmm. Ah. Ah. The one night. One night.
Yeah, clearly.
Maybe you should have participated.
Yeah, you'll excuse me if I'm not exactly the most keen to engage on shit like that.
Well, that. To be fair, I did go a little overboard.
Yeah, clearly.
So what brings you?
Well, mostly just Jamel wanted to make sure you're not dead.
Only half dead.
Yup. Could be worse, I guess.
I'll finish this cup and meet you back at the cart. Oh,
Okay.
probably be quieter out in there than out here.
Maybe.
Yeah, especially because of your want for silence right now, Dravinche. You have been hearing like the weirdly extra hustle and bustle of the city streets outside.
They've been busy out there since the early morning.
Yup. Some kind of festival or some shit, I guess. At least that's what it looks like.
Would Da Vinci know what kind of festival they'd be celebrating about now?
Depends on how well Dravinche has been keeping track of what day it is. Because you guys have kind of been running around quite a bit. I guess make a just general intelligence check. See if you can think about what time of year it is.
Sure. That is an 8.
Well, you haven't really been able to track everything because of everything that's been going on. You haven't seen a calendar recently. But you do know that it's probably autumn now.
We are Summer just ended, so maybe it's some form of autumn festival. I don't know. I can't think through this fog.
Yeah, I don't imagine it's exactly easy.
Oh, right. I completely forgot. There's the whole thing with Oregon. I need to make myself presentable for that.
Yeah, you might want to.
Need to be presentable after a night of. You just hear a voice off to the side of you.
Bring that down just 2 decibels.
It just head slowly turns.
Your head slowly turns to see a very suspicious individual. And when I say suspicious, I mean like it's a trench coat, a short hat. You can barely see the face because it's cloaked in shadows. Looks like the type of person who would sell you a watch on the back alleys of New York. Oh, sorry, good sir. I overheard your plight and thought I might offer a remedy or two if you must be so interested.
Uh,
Yeah, just look at Adventure like, this is all you.
what remedies do you have?
Well, this is a tavern, of course. I know that you are out and about drinking late into the night this previous eve. It's not hard to make one together and figure out that you are quite a bit hungover. Is that correct? It's a remedy for something. It's a remedy for such things as that.
Good. We have a detective here.
Oh, detective work is not my specialty, but one does not need to be so wise as to figure out such things as that. Now, would ye be so interested?
I should be fine. Have been. This isn't the worst hangover I've had.
Oh, but need you not be ready for some event you just said earlier? Not sure how long this guy's been eavesdropping on your conversation.
Yes, an event not meant for prying ears.
He nods a little bit. Oh, very well, very well, very well. Listen, if I can make you a deal, then my remedy is but 10 gold apiece. If you try it and you find it not, if you try it and you find it not applicable for your problems, you need not pay. But if you try it and it cures you of all your woes in but a woeful instant, then I would ask that you please pay up. What say ye now?
10 gold is a rather high price.
A high price for one who spins like you do? I doubt that. You're allowed to at any moment you want to make an insight check.
Yeah. I was going to ask. That is a nat 20.
Hungover Da Vinci. Very insightful. Most because he's like, what's your fucking scam, dude?
He doesn't seem to be lying that he has something that'll help you, but you think he's probably upselling the price because you did kind of be a little bit of a money bags last night.
Someone with money knows where to better spend it. Not paying 10 gold just to remedy this headache.
Be that well, Chief. He just nods and steps away.
Da Vinci will just chug down his coffee and slowly get up. Let's just go back to the cart.
Yeah, you see off in the corner as you all are leaving, just that same individual. Oh, there's a giant ant on me. Giant ant now dead. You just watch as off to the corner that individual like opens his coat towards someone. They just go, "Oh!" And that's like the last thing you see as you leave.
Oh, penis.
You don't see any. You
God
don't
damn it,
see
Armor.
any penises.
Sorry, the joke was too good.
God damn.
The
My God, that's a tallywhacker.
But yeah, Da Vinci will return back to the cart and focus on doing stuff to, one, help him wake up, and two, make him a bit more presentable watching his face and such.
Fire enough. Yeah, you get yourself cleaned up in your wash basin a bit. Make sure you're presentable. At one point, the little blue bee walks in on you and just goes, "Oh," and walks back out.
Oh.
You hear Lee fussing with it in the background as you're trying to get yourself clean and presentable.
Oi. Get out of the kitchen.
Stupid! Stop touching stuff! That's mine!
Stop cleaning! It's mine.
Oh, you can get the label goo. You can get the label goo off. Okay, you're allowed.
Oh. Okay. Dice full.
Alright, time to roll for this. Alrighty.
Roll for bees.
I have to roll for bees now. That's what you all have done to me.
You all... Excuse you, only one of us has committed this act.
This is what
So
happens
far.
when you need to collect creatures.
Listen, now that you all have had a taste of the bees, I'm sure you're all like kind of interested.
No, not really.
As a player or as a character?
Yes.
Aw, but bees.
I like the bees. I don't like the concept of purchasing the bees.
Well, you don't want to watch one be born?
No, not particularly.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Da Vinci, as you're like getting yourself finished, washed off, the little blue bee comes back in, just holding a cup towards you.
I don't know why my thought was urine sample.
No! No! No!
We need to see how much alcohol went through your system last night, sir.
Sir, please pee in this. I need to know exactly how dead you are.
But Da Vinci will grab the cup. What's this?
Drink, make feel better.
Insight the bee.
That's
Roll.
the joke. It's liquid meth.
Roll insight on the bee.
It's a 7 insight.
You can't incite the bee. She's too
This-
cute.
This bee is too pure in this world. There's no way it would do anything harmful towards you.
Okay, down the hatch.
All right.
And you're dead.
Just make a con check.
That's a 19.
All right. I'm assuming you don't have proficiency in the saving throw.
I do not.
Okay. We'll let it ride then. The substance that slips past your lips and onto your tongue is bitter to the point of making you immediately want to just get it out of your mouth. But the adorable eyes of the bee staring up at you, you're like, fight through the pain. You manage to finish it, and within a few minutes, the clarity returns to your senses.
Oh, that is much better. That is much better. Thank you.
Not a problem. Give cup, need clean. It like extends its little tiny bee hands out towards you.
Da Vinci will give the cup back and then pull out some soap. Yes, and now I need to clean up a bit more.
It just runs away from the washroom with the cup held over its head like it's a treasure.
Okay.
All I'm picturing is just the aliens from Toy Story. The claw.
No, it's like whenever like a low resolution like video game character holds an item and it's just like set on top of their model's head. It's kind of like that.
Fair.
Alrighty then. So you're just gonna get finished, washed up, and dressed in your proper attire then?
Yes, and he's going to basically going the full 9 yards to be proper.
Ah, Dravince's becoming fancy lad. Gotcha.
Yes.
Everyone's yawning tonight. Alrighty then. Well, as you all get yourselves prepped and ready to be presentable for the day, if you intend to be heading out for the day, I'd say let's go ahead and take it a little bit early of a bio break here.
Okay.
Speaking of peeing in a cup, bio break time. Don't pee in a cup.
You don't know what I do on my days off.
I mean, in an emergency, it works.
If it's peeing in a cup, I don't want to know. I hope everyone likes the bees.
I like the bees.
Bees. Of course you like the bees, they're your children.
I'm glad people like the bees. I work hard on the bees.
So I don't mean to keep using that voice.
Huh?
I don't mean to keep using that voice.
Which voice?
The one that sounds kind of like Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny thing is, I'm not trying necessarily to imitate Lee, but that is also the voice of my a new character that I thought of, my orc warlord Gorbaz.
Gorbaz.
Yeah. We are Gorbaz's Gore-waiters. So what? We walk through the gore. Oh, I thought it was Gore-waiters. No, they're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Not possible, Chief.
I feel like he and Lee would get along well. Mostly because both of them are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Although Lee's is because he has low intelligence and Gorbaz's is just because He's just not educated conventionally.
I mean, Lee's not educated conventionally.
That's also fair. They're smart in different ways, though.
Lee about food, navigation, and trade, and I don't know what Gorbass is.
Fighting.
Boyton.
I'm good at 3 things, and they all start with F. Fighting. I don't remember what the other one is. And I don't remember what the third one is.
Fighting, feasting.
That's the second one.
I don't know the third one. Fuck it.
That's what most people think it is. Just no. It's gross.
No, that's only for married people.
No, Corbass is more just oh. What would I do there?
The infinity dryer.
I have more important things to do, like making money. I could be sleeping with women, or I could be making money. I like money.
You could be sleeping with women and make money because of that.
No.
The factory also allows Jackson Pollock to make jawbreakers.
Counter to the counterpoint. A moment I'm spending sleeping with a woman is a moment I could be spending bashing some kid's head in. He's very much Warhammer Orc in his mentality of, but smash.
Not that smash.
Me want smash. What? Like you want a lady? What? No. Not hammer. Oh. The hell's wrong with you?
Power of the dropkick.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. Alright, good, we're on the same page. I just noticed that Dancing Bacon's put out a video called Subway Vending Machine, and I'm curious.
I'm sickened. Curious.
Just curious how you vending machine a Subway. I guess they have to probably just do pre-made sandwiches as opposed to toppings. Looks like that's what it is here.
That would make sense.
Subway is one of those restaurants that could fully be turned into just a literal assembly line.
Yay.
There shouldn't be any human interaction involved in a Subway.
Yay.
I prefer that there is human interaction personally, but that's just me.
I don't like
Dave.
human.
That's because you're one of them, optimists.
That's because you're one of them social athletes.
He's an optimist, he is. Now I'm going from Cockney to Michael Caine.
He's an optimist, he is.
Michael Caine.
The Batman.
I just like the way he says his own name.
Michael Caine.
Because it sounds like he's also saying my cocaine.
Michael Caine. I am the Batman.
It's so stupid.
Note to self, make a character with that voice and force Brimstone to talk to them. Brimstone,
What?
you have to understand. The eventual reveal of Atarax is just that he actually has that voice now.
Oh god.
Brimstone. Are you ready to be rid of yourself and your limbs?
I
Brimstone.
don't know why the threat is more effective when he talks like that.
Brimstone. I killed your mother. In front of
Ye-
you.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
Good. Wasn't sure if you checked out or not.
Kind of hard to.
Good.
He also sounds a little bit like Lee, which I think is also funny.
Not that good. I don't have that big of a vocal range, okay?
No, I know. I just think it's funny.
Brimstone. I'm going to rip your arms off and feed them to you.
Yeah.
Good. We're on the same page. There you go.
Jesus.
Just make the most evil villainous character, but give him that voice so you don't want to take him seriously.
Until he rips all your limbs off.
It's me, Brimstone. I'm
God
back
damn it.
again.
That made me also think of the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Tis but a flesh room, Brimstone.
I'll bite your legs off!
I hope you didn't need legs, Brimstone.
I like how the accent just keeps evolving over time.
I'm not got much consistency, Brimstone. The only part that changes, that stays the same, is the Brimstone.
We get into a fight with Ataraxes. Brimstone comes back with all his limbs are amputated. Smash cut to a year later after Brimstone has gotten full prosthetics and every arm is a multifunctional weapon. Just broadside cannons in the kneecaps.
Brimstone just basically learned how to fight like fucking Bayonetta.
Yes, Brimstone. I see that you've finally achieved your eventual lifelong goal of also being a god.
That's when Ataraxes does magic bullshit to just remove the entire concept of firearms from reality.
No, I'm just going to hold this magnet to you.
It's literally just fucking, anytime that Wolverine has to fight Magneto.
You would think that adamantium would be magnetic.
Well, it's supposed to be like an iron cognate, so...
It's a space metal.
I don't fucking know.
Well, if the events of Apocalypse are still true, I don't know if they've retconned it again. Magneto can control all kinds of metal, not just ferro metal.
No, not just ferromagnetic.
Yeah,
Or ferrous metal, rather.
Yeah, Apocalypse expanded into all metal. but I don't know if that was just in that movie or that's just what we can do now.
No idea.
I mean, that movie was a canon part of the timeline that was supposed to take place before the X-Men movies that were originally made.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out where the fuck I.
And we're just going to ignore the fact that the X-Men have future problems dealing with simple level mutants where they've already fought Apocalypse.
The whole X-Men movie series reads like someone who had maybe watched some of the animated series enough to get the colors of characters and a very basic idea of what their mutant powers are. And it's like, alright, let's write a movie.
Cyclops shoots lasers. That's all he does.
Beam, 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 beam.
Even though by technicality they're not lasers, but like whatever.
It's literally like just a literal wave of kinetic force that comes out of his eyeballs.
Yeah, it's less lasers and more just he's punching you with his eyes really fast.
His eyes are actual portals to another universe called the Punch Universe.
Basically.
He's literally punching you with another universe.
Yeah, it's kinetic force bullshit, not lasers, but like it's fucking lasers.
Okay, what did I walk back in on?
You walked back in
Cyclops
on
from the X-Men punches you with his eyeballs.
Oh,
yeah.
And
You
doesn't
walked
actually
back.
shoot lasers.
Yeah, you walked back in on a discussion that followed me making a Michael Caine impression at Brimstone for about 10 minutes.
Michael Caine, is that
As
the
it slowly evolved over time into something not quite Michael Caine.
Michael Caine adjacent.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that plays Alfred in Batman?
Yes.
Okay, now I know who I'm.
Yeah, and the Christian Bale Batman.
Brimstone. I've come to take your legs, Brimstone.
You're gonna have to write a monologue so when we meet, it's like, I was once walking through the fields of Faerun, and it just goes on for a waffles on for.
Yeah, it's just him talking about the shit that he's done before he even got here. Just like, what the fuck is the point? The point is, while you were distracted, I stole your legs. God damn it!
I once found myself walking through the glorious meadows of Faerun.
Either that or, while you were distracted, I stole your niche. She's mine now.
While you were distracted, look down now. You no longer have legs below the knees.
And also, I stole Kenta.
Look, I have them here in this jar.
It's a regular sized jar, you just fucking cast enlarge reduce on it. Just to be an asshole.
I put them in this jar of mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? Oh, fuck you.
It will ensure that they stay nice and silky for when you eventually get them back, Brimstone.
No matter he's absolutely has the ability to just preserve them normally. He's just doing it in mayonnaise as an extra fuck you.
No, they're
This
just
also-
in a,
this also
they're
makes
in a
Ataraxis
slightly
far
smaller
more-
jar.
This also makes Ataraxis far more chaotic than he would actually be.
It's only to Brimstone, though.
In reality, it's more just, you don't deserve those. Give me. Rip.
I like to imagine that Ataraxis is only chaotic when it involves Brimstone, just because he knows that's what fucks with Brimstone more.
Yeah, when it involves fucking with... Yeah. Defying his own nature as the last remaining Archdevil. A bastion of order. Even if it's fucked up and evil. Just to fuck with his son.
It's one of the few things that brings him joy in his life.
What? Yeah. What brings you joy, Lord Ataraxis? Well, my wife. Experiments. Specifically if they cause pain. And fucking with my son. Which one? I only have one. Still alive.
No, just my wife. Experiments. Mental image flashes across his brain of just Brimstone just staring at him with utter rage and contempt while his wife is just dead in front of him. Slow smile creeps across Ataraxi's face. Family matters.
Right.
Why are you here again? He strikes me as the type of person that would question why people are bothering him.
Just points. Dualis has just broken another hole in the castle. Why are you still here? Fix it.
Dualis. What are doors?
Yeah! She just busts down another door. Just
I like to. Dualis is one of those people who you see like the inside shot of a room with people talking. The wall beside the door explodes. She walks through it, walks to the door, unlocks it, opens it, walks back out, then comes back through the other side of the wall. Now there's just two holes in the wall and a Dualis.
anyways.
Ataraxis, I'm showing some respect by knocking, but then I don't care, so I'm coming in anyway. Battering ram down the door.
I just like the idea. Ataraxis, I'm home! And just like, I know when you step foot across the threshold. Not that I expect that will stop you. Of everyone, Ataraxis is both of them simultaneously the most tired of Dualis' shit, but also recognizing the fact that she's still used. So it's just a whatever.
The most tired of her shit, but simultaneously the most patient with her.
Yeah. Despite the fact that he's probably like the only one that could actually do anything about her if she decided to rebel. Like most of the other devils that are still alive are just like, why do you keep her around? And just, she's entertaining. Also, if I need something killed, I could risk you and all of your worthless lives. Or I could use Dualis.
Or I could ensure that the job gets done.
Well,
But sir, did I ask for your opinion?
Dualis, when I absolutely positively cannot live to see tomorrow.
I just love the idea of them fucking firing out of a giant cannon from the peak of the helm from the hell mouth. Poof! And then just splashed it. And there's just a little girl who turns into a storm of claws, fangs, and muscle.
Alright, is everyone back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In Bic.
In here.
been for a while.
Listen. Listen.
Look,
Listen.
look.
I
we
have
had
no
to talk-
explanation
we
if we continue.
We had to talk about Ataraxis as played by Michael Caine.
As played by parody Michael Caine.
As played by Mike Cocaine.
Ah yes, Michael Caine.
Mike Cocaine.
Michael Caine. Brimstone.
God damn it. Okay, we gotta stop. Otherwise we're gonna start again.
Fair enough. Listen, we're allowed to have fun. This is our game.
Yeah. But
Alright.
I would like other things to happen besides this.
Other than Brimstone.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to actually make a character with that voice now, god damn it.
It's just Tim's associate. Mitt.
Game
Alright.
master.
No. Game
He
Master already
collects
had one.
raccoons.
Don't talk about him or his raccoon sons ever again.
Brimstone. I know your father.
Alrighty then. Getting back into things. Well, at this point, you've all had time to wash yourselves, ready yourselves. Anyone who wants to is properly prepared for the day. So, who all is going to go? Obviously, Morrigan.
Mm-hmm.
If not Morrigan, then it'd be very confusing.
Yeah, everyone but Morrigan, actually. We're just gonna roll up and he's gonna be like, where is my daughter?
And they're just gonna be like, "We're the hazing squad," before you get to meet her again.
You
We're her
abandoned
friend.
her for how fucking long?
It's
What
the scene from JoJo's with the kicking.
I just like, just Brimstone just like, well, it's better than what my dad did.
Abandonment with a side of murder.
Just fails you from the back. I don't know my dad!
Alright then.
Ugly line like Bruce from Finding Nemo. I know my father.
Alright.
Just burst into tears.
Alright.
Anyways, yeah.
So, obviously Morrigan, but who else is going?
Adventure will go.
Yeah.
It seems like a place a time to really fuck shit up.
Of course, that's your
I don't
reasoning.
know how yet, but no.
I mean, support a friend in her time of need.
Prepare to murder someone if they're not actually being as forthcoming with their honesty and family like love. Yeah. All right, so everyone's going. So the whole
Yeah.
cart can just go because at this point your cart's been repaired. Lease all to the final getting it fixed and ready to roll. That didn't already get done yet.
Alrighty.
Alright, so you all have at least Morrigan, you have a vague idea of where you all are going. The outskirts of the city you all have to travel through in order to reach that forest just outside the city where you saw his little abode.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like for you to just make a survival check.
Okay. 8.
8. It's way too loud. It's a bit of a long process going in this particular occasion. You know you saw it from the overhead perspective, but getting there is a bit of a different story when you're essentially on foot, though you are in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
You all making your way through the city streets to get back to the outskirts of the city once more, though. It is pretty apparent that there is the early stages of the people of the city setting themselves up for a festival. And Morrigan,
Mm-hmm.
you would actually be somewhat familiar with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's celebrated a little bit differently in the Pelecrest Isles, but you would be aware of the Mortal Carnival.
Ah.
The week-long, held-at-night festival, which is, you've come to learn now, a sort of companion festival for the Festival of Radiance held in midsummer. Whereas that is more of a festival of welcoming spirits that wander these lands to visit and speak to those still in the living world. the Mortal Carnival is a festival more about quelling the restless spirits and letting them go back to their eternal rest to re-enter the cycle of rebirth. You're not necessarily sure how they celebrated in the Blossom Kingdom, but in Pelcrest it had become a bit of a simple festival, often accompanied by children in costumes dressing up as monsters and the like, trying to embody a bit of the spirit of helping spirits return to rest by driving them away from homes. Charms and various pieces of iconography and... what is the word I'm looking here? I mean, I know the word I'm looking for, but I'm trying to think of another word for it. Not fetishes, but another word that means that same thing.
I can't think of it. I'm sorry.
Items, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Idols
close.
and different iconography that were put out and around the cities you grew up in, just to basically, in some small way, act as things to ward spirits away from home, so that they did not get trapped for another season. It's also thought that, in some way, the lights that you now are seeing going up around these towns is a way to help highlight spirits for the harvesters of Grudma to find them. But yeah, as you all are making your way through the city, you just see the early stages of people setting up for this festival. Setting up strings of blue and purple lights. Occasional spots of reds and oranges. And just a weirdly large amount of pumpkins.
Is that one of the few things in common between here and Palecrest?
It's less like these big, fat orange pumpkins like you're seeing here, and in Palecrest it's more like squashes and other types of gourds.
So the original Irish tradition of the turnip lantern.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, these look like gigantic pumpkins that, frankly, you don't know if they'd necessarily even be very good for eating. They almost look like they're more for purposeful display. Some are ridiculously large, some are particularly gnarly looking, with weird bumps and growths all over them. Certainly get the sense that they're meant to be a bit monstrous looking.
Just as they're going through, she just goes, interesting to see how it's celebrated outside of where I'm from.
Is there going to be another party here?
What's that?
Is there another party?
Well, they're prepping for the festival that's more or less companion to the Radiance one.
Any more parties and Grainger's going to die of alcohol poisoning.
Everyone is just awkwardly staring.
Sorry, was that addressed to me? I didn't quite hear it.
Felzy was just musing that any more parties and Grainger's going to die of alcohol poisoning.
At least I'll enjoy it until then.
No die, I'll cure. Little blue bee is just walking around.
Felzy's just cautiously looking over to see if she's about to freak out and start trying to sweep the street.
You guys are still in the cart right now.
We are in the car.
You're in the car. Can you turn the AC on? Thank you. Just a family road trip with this group. That wouldn't be chaotic at all.
No, not at all.
Just Jamel and Lee in the back seat next to each other, just taking up the entire rear of the vehicle. Just like, this is fine.
I mean, yeah, basically.
It's like when two burly men try to squeeze into a Prius.
Yeah, the car just...
They flex and it stretches into a Ford. Anyways. But no. You guys are still like riding in the cart since pretty much all of you were going to go. There's no point in not taking the cart with you.
Right.
But I would care. More drink to be good, drink to wake up, drink to experience life. Drink to experience speed.
What?
Precisely.
Yes, you drink. You drink. How do you feel?
I feel much better since I've had that concoction of yours.
Wonderful. Most good. Most good. First round batch. Good to see work. Expectations high for future proof. Little B nods.
Huh.
But before we do any more festivals and partying,
We're gonna go back.
Morgan, is there anything that you know that we should avoid talking about or doing when we visit?
Oh. Given that he didn't react too well to it last night, probably not moving suddenly toward him.
That makes sense.
After
No hugs, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that'd be weird from any one of us.
given
Depends
what,
on the culture.
yes, and given what I saw in the mountain, I get the feeling that loud, sudden noises, especially if they're long and drawn out, are probably best to be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he still is affected by them, or if he's gotten over that over the years.
Hmm.
I mean, he lives far away from the city. Do you think that might be why?
Probably.
That, or maybe he feels he's not welcome to be in the city. I don't know. Best I can do is make my guesses.
It can also be that the real estate there is rather costly. Much cheaper to get a place outside the city or to build your own than to try to find a place inside.
That is also a possibility, yeah.
At this point, you guys are finally making your way out of the front gate. And your lockbox is unlocked.
I was actually just going I was actually just going to ask, do we need to have Da Vinci go and submit their lockbox registration to unlock?
Yeah, I'm just sort of brushing over that for the sake of brevity.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you get your lockbox undone. Though since you all are apparently intending to return to the city, at least everything would point towards that. They let you keep the box for now, just to make registration coming back into the city a bit faster next time.
Elsie quickly grabs almost possessively her little iron flask.
Bang! So no hugging, no sudden loud noises, no moving towards him.
At least not quickly.
Sounds like I'm not gonna do much of this. I made pie. We made a potato candy dough and we got some pie.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're roboting.
Yes. Do you hear me now?
It sounds like you're talking through bubbles almost.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's better.
Weird. Internet will take up.
Oh, and it's
Still kind of is.
Dadgummit.
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's good now.
Alright. Do I need to repeat anything?
I think I'm good.
I think I got the gist of it. Lee pretty well saying he didn't feel like he'd be doing much, but he made the potato candy.
Yeah. Which he has ready for you to take with you.
Alrighty.
Alrighty then. So at this point you all are out of the city. You remember that the forest you saw through the scrying was... Page reloaded for some weird reason. Was somewhere to the west of Petalfall. That's really all you have to go off of at this point. You exit the western gate, and at this point it would just be up to searching.
Alrighty. What kind of roll would that be?
Survival or perception?
I got a better modifier on survival. I'm gonna go that.
Alrighty. And more than you can make this roll as well, because you all are simply just going to be combing through a forest trying to find a location.
Ah, 16. Much better.
What was the
Perception or survival? Yeah, so
That's a 1 on both.
I'll roll it anyways. You've got Dice Goblin luck.
Failsy's
Not
just
for-
I'll go perception because Failsy's like, I know what I'm looking for, and just looks.
There's a Dice Goblin luck.
There he is.
No. Alright. So what both of you sort of notice in tandem with each other, because both those rolls are high enough, is after a bit of a bit the ways out of the city where you have to go obviously off the trade road. You go a bit towards the forest and start searching around. Eventually, as you all are scanning through the forest, you do start to notice a pretty specific pathway that has been packed down in the undergrowth, just leading into the forest. You get the sense that this might be where you're going for. But you don't think the cart can go through this pathway.
Yeah, looks like we'll be going on foot from here.
Okay. I think I'm actually gonna stay in the cart, keep an eye on things. Here are the candies. I put them in this little linen baggie.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah. Be safe out there.
I'm sure we will be.
West come to us, we can always run.
Yeah.
Can I explode things before you run?
No. Well, we will see what causes us to run, and then we will decide if you are allowed to explode.
I'm gonna explode things.
Yeah, before we leave, Brimstone just kind of stops, turns back, grabs the rifle.
You grab your sniper rifle.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It feels comfortable to have back on your person.
Yeah, just
Even if you are getting a better one made right now.
yeah, but I don't have that yet.
Fair enough. All right. So, setting into the woods, you all are following a path. I'd like for everyone to just make a general purpose perception check.
Oof.
Just to see what gets noticed on the way there.
Nothing.
And for me,
18.
I was already bored. 8.
Fair enough. It's kind of actually thematic that Morrigan is the only one that succeeds this. You all walk for...
She sees the white lady in the forest.
No, that's Tutilla, and you guys already know where she is.
No. I was hoping it was some ghost bullshit.
Tutilla is some ghost bullshit.
I don't know about that.
Literally looks like a wisp.
She's a lovely old forest witch lady. She's not really a witch though.
No. But-
Forest guardian lady.
Yes.
Anyways, continue.
Yes. As you continue forward, Mulligan, this starts to look familiar. From your scry, after these 10 or 20 minutes have passed, I think that is a sound someone is making.
Sorry, thought it was me.
You start to notice things that look familiar from when you scried on this location. The tree line just looked familiar. The pathway looks familiar. And eventually, as you get closer and closer to where you know the clearing should be, your eyes trail over to the particular spot where just over in the underbrush you can see some freshly upturned dirt. Where you know the Aether is buried.
Yeah.
This is stuff only Morrigan would know, wouldn't it?
Yes. Only Morrigan notices this and knows about it previously. And I'm guessing you don't act on it, Morrigan?
No, she just continues down the path because... wanna get to her dad's place.
Fair enough. You continue a bit further until eventually, after 30 minutes of walking you all have done into this forest, the tree line ahead of you breaks, and this small, ramshackled hut lay before you. The smallest bit of a smoke plume coming out of a stone and mud packed chimney set into its side.
I guess this is the place.
Looks like the one from the scrawling.
If you were to picture like a traditional one room family cabin, like what you would think about like the expanding into the Western Territory of early age colonial America, it looks very much like that. The front door is currently closed, and you can't see much through the papered windows that are in the sides of the building.
So, who's gonna knock?
Morgan just goes up to the door and knocks.
Yeah, you knock lightly. You're a bit of a shuffling on the inside before a particular set of latches you can hear being undone. Specifically 3 metal latches you can hear being undone. And the door just creaks open. And before you, you see the same man you saw the night previous. And you all see him. Danny, if possible, could you describe him for everyone again?
Alright. He's a human man. Looks to be definitely on the older end of middle age, probably getting close to what could be considered elderly.
Yeah, so like mid-50s, early 60s.
Yeah, pushing towards there. Hair that you can tell by looking at it used to probably be solid black, but has gone gray in a lot of places. Like the way I have him imagined in my head, he's probably taking a little better care of himself these days, so facial hair that's at least presentable enough.
It's like facial hair after you haven't shaved for about a week. It's not long and unkempt, but it's also not particularly well maintained.
Yeah. Like the bare minimum.
Yeah. Bit of a scraggly beard.
Presentable enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the door opens and he looks towards you. I suppose I wasn't seeing things last night.
No. And as I told you, friends came with.
He sort of like runs his chin through his beard, just like, I see that. Like collection.
First he looks past us, like looks slightly up for Jamel and just, damn.
Right, it's not big on the inside, but you all can come in.
Right.
He sort of steps back and leaves the door open for you all to step inside.
Okay.
Morgan will enter first, I guess.
Alright. To describe the inside of this little cabin, it's fairly sparse. You see a bed set towards one side, near to the hearth of this mud-packed fireplace. Not particularly large, definitely made just for him. A single table set on the opposite wall, with several chairs set around it. You can see some papers set there. Probably he was writing something down just before you all came in. And currently there is just a seemingly new piece of furniture that looks very out of place. Just a new short, the type of table you're specifically designed to sit at. That's like sit on the ground at. Can't remember what it's called. It's like a coffee table, but it's short. You just see various cups set around that, and there is currently in the hearth a fire, just a low fire burning, with a black iron kettle setting over top of it.
Can Da Vinci insight him, try to get a feel of his general behavior, or
Sure.
and general demeanor. That's the word. General demeanor, especially with such a large crowd in tow.
Sure.
That's a 13.
He definitely seems nervous, though you don't know if that's simply because he's not used to being around people. I mean, based on Morgan's statement, he probably hasn't been around people for a long time. Or if it's for any other reason. But he seems nervous. But he steps inside himself and walks over to the hearth as you all make your way inside. Jamel she struggles a bit getting through the small front door. It's not made for someone of her frame. But she manages.
Look, is there any window? She can just poke her head through like Mr. Ed.
Well, the windows have like paper in them.
Fair.
She would just be like, smash. Hello.
Hello, I am here.
No, it's just a scenario where she essentially has to go through one section of her body at a time. It's like arm, one boob, other arm, hips.
Hips for days.
Bring the tail in. Honestly, Jamel's tail could wrap around this entire room.
Jesus. I just forget just how massive that fucking tail is.
It's over 12 feet long. It's basically twice as long as she is tall, and she's quite tall.
Tall. Yeah, she's the tallest one of us.
It's not that weird, though.
No,
What?
not really.
So... Oh, quite a few. Alright. Okay. He takes a couple of deep breaths to himself.
Guessing you weren't expecting this many people.
Not... I mean, I was, but...
Would you rather that we stay outside?
No. It's fine. I guess you could say I wasn't expecting such a colorful crew.
I should probably introduce everyone.
I don't know if I'd understand them all, but certainly.
First of all, everyone, this is my father, Gregory.
Aye. Good to meet all of you.
Hi, Gregory.
I like pretty fails to use his magic to like make her sound like there's like 5 of her, so it sounds like an AA meeting. Hi, Greg.
Felzy would be in an AA meeting.
Felzy doesn't know what an AA meeting is.
See, I figure it would be WCA, you know, War Crimes Anonymous. Fair. I melted people. Yeah, my name is Failsy. I melted people. Hi, Failsy.
I accidentally a genocide.
I accidentally an entire race gone.
Alright.
Failsy, we talked about this.
Back to being on topic though. You were introduced. Sorry.
Then Morrigan will turn to and be like, these are my friends. And she'll kind of gesture a hand toward each person as she says their name. Brimstone, Failsy, Jamal, and Dravinche.
Greetings.
Aye. It's good to meet all of you. He sort of shifts slightly. Are you all still standing, or have you all sat around the table? Where he sort of gestured for you all to head to.
You first.
Brimstone sits, but like awkwardly. Like he doesn't really want to, but he also doesn't want to be rude. So this is being like an I guess.
Fair enough.
Dravinche will sit down in a I don't remember what that pose is called, where you're on your knees and sitting on your feet, but you're not supposed to sit on your feet to do that properly, but I can't remember what.
You prostrate yourself?
I think it's called
No.
Sansa. Or Seiza.
Either way, he does that.
Seems
Very
like,
prim, very proper.
yeah. Some tea ritual kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he's going to be taking a careful. He's going to be keeping a careful eye around the room and the surroundings.
Alright. I mean, there's not really much terribly to see around you all. It is a very plain room. Felzy, are you sitting?
Felzy, sit down.
Jamel will as well.
Just like the idea that Jamal could just wrap her tail around herself and just basically have her own chair.
I mean, she kind of has to because she can't really just sit on the ground.
True.
She, like, curls her tail up underneath herself so she can actually sit down.
Lorg tail.
Does the same thing for Felzy, so Felzy has a seat that isn't just the floor.
It's so big it sits too.
If she just wrapped it around the table, you could all sit on her tail.
That's true. But Brimstone would be even more weirded out by that.
it would at least be warm and soft.
Brimstone has slept on rocks before.
Oh, great! A stink bug got caught in a spider web, and now it's making a stinky smell.
Oh,
Oh,
yay,
gross.
fun.
Stink bug, you smell like old lint.
Well, now you know what you got to do.
It's not even a spider web that a spider's living in. That's literally a cobweb.
It's the spider has left the great ash a gift, an offering, a sacrifice.
There you go, stink bug. Stop making that smell. You're back on the wall now.
The spider will remember how their great god has ignored the sacrifice.
That is a horrible smell. It gives you a
Will they
headache.
do better or will they revolt? Only time will tell.
They will be punched. All right, sorry about that.
No worries. But yeah,
Just like, that smell.
getting back to Morrigan would sit down at the table after she'd made her introductions.
Takes a moment, but he does as well after pulling the kettle from the fire. Well, he looks around at the rest of you. I don't know if this is as nice as you might have been expecting, but
Would you imagine if I expected worse?
he looks up for a second. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you expected worse.
I mean,
Yeah.
could be doing worse for yourself. Sleeping on the streets or in the forest.
I did for a while. Until I
Fair.
built this place.
Yeah. I can exactly imagine it. It's, you know, a one-day operation.
No, took a few months. Putting
Yeah.
everything together. One person building a place like this. Not the easiest thing to do.
Huh.
He pours into each of your glasses a sort of like light brown liquid. It smells a bit of spices and chocolate. And Morrigan, this is actually a kind of familiar smell for you.
Oh.
It is just it's not quite the same, but it's familiar to just a it's kind of like a hot cocoa drink that they drink on the Pilcrest Isles. Just melted chocolate, milk, heavy baking spices, sugar. It's kind of the type of thing you drink whenever you're expecting to have guests over and there to be a talk. It's meant to be like a communal drink.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe he was trying to keep that in mind with this meeting.
She just kind of smiles and very carefully pulls out the potato candy. Seems we had the same idea with this meeting, huh?
Well, first time in 15 years. I mean, he just sort of quiets himself after that. It is good to see you, Little Shadow.
It's good to see you too, Da.
I mean, he himself sits down now after setting that large kettle on a trivet in the middle of the table. So at any point, if you all wish for more of the drink, you can dish yourself out more of it.
Yee.
But he sits himself down at one side of the table and just looks at you. Well, I knew I invited you, but didn't really know what we'd be talking about. Didn't know what to prepare. Didn't know if I even could prepare. Glad to see you, just I don't really know what I should say.
To be perfectly honest, I don't really know what to do right now either. I didn't think I'd get this far.
You had to inherit something from me, and if it's the mannerism of not knowing what you're gonna do when you actually get somewhere, that's certainly something you'd get from me. Your mom was always a lot more assured of herself.
Yeah.
He gives a very, sad smile as he says that.
She misses you.
It's a bit hard to believe. Didn't exactly leave on good terms. Wouldn't fault her for hating me. Wouldn't fault any of you for hating me, to be honest.
I didn't make that particular parting any easier.
His head just turns down. Maybe, but you did what was right. I knew that the moment I woke up in the morning and I remembered everything that happened. So I didn't even think about coming back. I just had to do something right, you know? I didn't expect you to ever find me. Didn't really. He chuckles a bit. Didn't really ever want you to either. Content to try to atone for myself, knowing that I'd never see any kind of return for it. Well, I'm rambling now about things that need not be spoken.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, I setting out on this, I had my own ideas of what I'd do if I ran into you, and I mean, you can ask Jamal, when the Radiance Festival was happening, I asked if there'd be a possibility of communing with your spirit, and I didn't ask it very kindly at all.
Sorry, I wasn't to spirit to listen to you then. I've been managing to do some good at least, though. Trying to stop the Aether trade. What little I can do to stop it, at least. At least the illegal Aether trade.
Yeah.
Can't stop it outright. What would be to do my people? He sort of looks around. What were you gonna say?
You specifically made mention of illegal. Does that mean it's legal somewhere?
Aye. Aether itself isn't an illegal substance. Not truly. But it's never supposed to find its way into... He sort of gestures around this group. Mortal hands. It's a
It is a
substance.
It is a commodity that is more enjoyed by certain upper echelons.
It's the food for those people. It's the word they use in this land for them. Yokai? Spirit people?
That is correct.
Oh, because the way you explained it, Adventure, I thought it was just some pretentious bullshit. I guess that
No.
makes more sense.
No. Normally those people have to feed off of life force from mortals like us.
Mm.
Aether is a substance that lets them live without needing that. It's lifeblood, but refined. When it gets into a mortal's hands, it does weird. And you all notice he sort of like cups his hands together and so rubs the backs of his knuckles. Does weird things to him. Messes with your mind. Makes you see things that you shouldn't be seeing. It's not good.
I was made aware of that, actually. Specifically how it affected you.
Y'all can, anyone who's paying attention to him in particular would see that his own grip on his hands is making his knuckles turn a bit white. My own experiences with it weren't kind, but it doesn't excuse what I did.
I did also see you trying to give it up several times.
Not sure how you saw that, but I did. Always went back to it. Wasn't until I got here and started learning more about it I was able to convince myself that I shouldn't be touching the stuff anymore. I should make sure no one else who shouldn't be touching it touches it either.
Fair enough. Pardon me, I had to mute for a moment so I could cough.
It's all good. Don't know if that's what you came here to discuss today. Is it?
Yeah, but I'd rather that be between just you and I. As for What can be discussed openly with my friends here? Well, what I sent you in the letter. Unless you still haven't had a chance to check that.
I'll be honest, I had one of those little bee fellows visit me, saying there was something for me, but thought it was one of the people who run the trade trying to make a fool of me.
Given the circumstances, I don't blame you.
Ever thought you tried to send me something?
Different things have come to light to me as of late, and she just kind of stops and, like, stops speaking in her own nervous habit of she just kind of, like, not gripping it, but she does, just out of habit from whenever she's been nervous the last several years, her right hand drifts to kind of protectively rest against her left arm.
I mean, people change. Circumstances change.
Suppose.
I do have a question, if you don't mind.
We wouldn't have gone this far if I minded terribly much, now would we?
You're making a very noble crusade against those who are in the Aether trade. And the Aether is food. Is used as food for the yokai. And with that, why do you avoid returning the Aether to the god?
His expression turns a bit dark. I'm pretty sure someone in the guard is who's giving it to these people to send and trade about with. I noticed that after I destroyed containers or hid them away, the periods between more of these little dens showing up grew longer. But when I would give them back to the guards, they showed right back up almost immediately. I don't have anything to confirm that, but it's a hunch.
So the guard is basically getting a kickback whenever you take him out and give the ether back, because then they can just sell it back to the same people who are selling it to civilians.
Maybe not the god explicitly, but at least a god who is corrupt.
That's the sense I'm getting at least, though I haven't the foggiest of who even could be in their ranks that are doing it.
I'd wager it might be harder than just the common guard, though.
Probably.
Although if it is a common guard, they're quite ballsy.
I mean, I'm sure there's more than one of them in on the system.
Aye.
That's usually how this kind of corruption goes.
Yeah.
Aether is produced in this city, after all.
Could be possible that whoever's the ringleader of this whole operation has some contact in the production facility itself.
They'd have to. I have to imagine.
Would make sense why it takes longer when it doesn't get returned. They can only skim so much off the top.
He nods. His grip on his knuckles finally lessens.
At least with taking people out, you're able to manage yourself enough coin to survive, as I understand it.
But only when I think I can get away with it. Normally I don't even report it. I'll tell someone else, and they'll take the credit for it. Think if the guards caught me, they'd be trying to figure out where I'm taking all of the Aether to.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't know if this was the tone that you all wanted for this meeting.
Kind of came in not really knowing what to expect, honestly.
Fair enough. Certainly wasn't expecting this.
Morgan thinking of this just to lighten the mood. By the way, can you tell me which one of those is the closest to what Ma used to make all the time? Pointing to the potato candies.
He tentatively gives them a taste. Just it's been a while since I've had it myself. Check for him. This one tastes a bit closer. These seem to be... He points towards the raspberry ones. It still feels like it's missing something, though, you know?
Yeah. One of our friends who didn't come with, Lee, he's a rather good cook.
Yeah.
Tell them that they're good when you get back.
Will do. Imagine if he'd come with us, though, he'd be hounding you for the recipe for this drink.
I'm sure you could tell it to him, Morgan.
I could probably at least get him there. Somewhat.
He's good at figuring stuff like that out.
Yeah.
Might not be the brightest when it comes to book smarts, but
I think he could probably taste it and tell you what it has in it.
that's entirely possible.
I had him doing that with different drinks I was finding around the city. And some meat kebabs that were really good that I wanted to know what the spices were.
Yeah, he's a savant in the kitchen. I thought Redemption was good.
Redemption. I
Yeah.
recognize that name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So you're that brimstone.
What's the kind of tone that he takes when he says that? Is it like
it's kind of like make an
recognition
insight
or-
check.
Okay.
I was about to ask, can I insight that too?
Yeah.
14
Morgan,
for Da Vinci.
Morgan wants insight as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Ah, 6, dang it.
It's like I'll give this to you all because Da Vinci sort of got this, and he's not really trying to hide it. It's like that sort of thing of where he recognizes you because you are, I mean, this has been stated on multiple occasions before, you're kind of well-decorated war veteran,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's that sort of thing of just like, he recognizes you and there's some reverence there, but there's also clearly like a, I don't like the association I have with you type recognition.
Yeah. Okay. Just. Yeah.
I've been told he's mellowed out since the events in the past.
I never met you before, I just know of you.
Yeah.
I think the only time I've seen you before was at those ceremonies. You didn't seem like you wanted to be there any more than when I did.
Absolutely not. I get the whole pomp and circumstance makes the military look good, but 10 kids out there might see me, think they'll become the next me, and 8 of them are gonna end up dead before they come back.
If they're lucky.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
All of them would end up dead if they tried to be me.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
So, I forget what Brimstone would remember. I don't remember if we've been explicitly told that he was part of the Revenants.
I don't know if Morrigan... think Morrigan's mentioned that he was part of the Revenant Regiment.
Yeah,
Because it's
she
been mentioned a
has.
few times that, like, that's why Keta was apprehensive about potentially coming to meet him.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are all aware, to the various extents that you're aware of what that regiment was.
Mhm.
Brimstone probably, of everyone, being the most familiar with it.
Considering my connection with one of the people who helped create it.
Yeah, one of the people who helped create it, and also Vivian, who was one of the, like, main healers that worked alongside it.
I was meeting Vivian, but also Redemption. I forgot Redemption was also part of it.
He's part of it because he was kind of Vivian's right-hand bodyguard after everything that happened.
Basically. Yeah.
Well, guess not everyone's born special, as they say.
Yeah.
Don't wish it upon anyone, though.
Ain't everyone that can just shake off death like it's a bad habit.
Yeah.
Shit. That's why I have this. Just kind of motions to the parade with his head.
Die and then wake up the next morning like it was a bad dream. No. You know it wasn't because you don't remember falling asleep in a ditch covered in your own blood.
Yeah, it's more like a bad hangover.
He shrugs a bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was one thing that I was always worried about having children. I didn't want to pass it on to them, but I don't think any of you were born with that. And I'm very glad for that. He just looks up at you, Morgan.
Well, I mean, I've come close to dying all of one time, but I think I came back from that not because of inheriting.
To be a revenant means to have death seek you out. And just can never claim you. So I
Yeah,
never wish it upon anyone.
yeah, like... I...
Yeah, that's how I know. Think about me.
I've only had it happen once, and like I said, I don't know if what brought me back has to do with inheriting that from you or other things.
He seems curious, but he doesn't seem like he wants to ask.
At least not while everybody else is around.
Well, it's also just the fact of he may not want to hear why it was you almost died.
You know
Not
what,
exactly something
fair?
you always want to hear as a parent.
Yeah, not something you want to hear from your own child. Hey, Dad, I almost died. I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what? I don't mean to push your friends away, but you spoke like you wanted to talk to me in private.
I do, but I wanted them to be able to meet you, so that, you know, figured it might be good for you to say that, you know, I'm getting out in the world and I have made myself a group of friends.
Quite the group, it seems.
And she's a very skilled fighter. We've had more than one encounter that she pulled us out of.
I'm not that skilled, I'm just lucky.
What's the...
Style?
Eh.
If you ask me, the only difference between being skilled and being lucky is how much you can bullshit away the luck.
Just kind of gestures towards him with his head. Just pretty much. A lot of stupid shit redemption I shouldn't have got away with, but we did. Like the one time we launched him out of a ballista. It worked.
Morgan just kind of looks over at her dad like, the fuck? Like, looks at Gregory, then looks at Brimstone, both of them getting a the fuck look.
You do some things in the military. You get bored.
What? It worked.
For what reason?
Well...
Why do I get the feeling that this is a get me closer so I can hit them with my sword?
Yeah, kind of.
Of course.
No, I thought
It was basically how fast can you headbutt something without breaking your neck.
Oh,
The
so it
answer's
was...
about as fast as a ballista bolt, as long as you're wearing heavy armor.
So this was shenanigans and not an actual battle thing, then?
Oh no, it absolutely was. It was basically a... putting proof to the theory.
I've got the feeling that I know a few people back home that would end up doing stuff like that too.
I mean, you're from Tetheril too.
Fair.
So, yeah. Yeah, I still remember how pissed Vivian was at me. I didn't care, it was funny. He lived.
Gently trails back into the annals of history, with redemption just coming out of a artillery wagon, just being like,
Whoa! Yeah, just covered in gore. Just, yeah, I punched through a giant's chest.
those big
I'm just
towers
thinking,
that you
but-
like wheel up to a side of a castle wall so you can get
Yeah,
over
siege tower.
it. Siege tower, that's the word I was trying to think of here. Just went right through siege tower.
Just
Spear tackled a guy like 600 feet.
Just hearing the thing about the cart just makes me think of the Monster Hunter being rolled on back.
He's just covered in bandages from like head to toes. Woo!
Colorful group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean we're mostly tieflings, so you know.
Although this one here, and Morgan will kind of just playfully poke Dravince, keeps liking to tease me about not liking sliding down things rather quickly.
We had an event where we went down a rather long slide.
Huh.
And oh, it was great fun, but she was screaming her head off the entire time.
Wasn't that the one where Lee just soared off into the fucking trees? It was fucking hilarious.
Yes, it was.
I mean, Kata was concerned, but I mean it's Kata, so. Oh no.
I mean, it's not every day you get to see an orc go across the air like with the elegance of an overweight seagull.
Yeah.
It sounds like y'all have been up to some misadventures.
We have. Both entertaining and not so much.
Fair enough.
But you two wanted to talk private, so maybe we should give y'all some space.
Indeed.
No, enjoy your drinks. We could step out for a moment.
Yeah.
He pushes himself up onto his feet.
Alright. Morgan will stand as well.
And he will walk outside with you, Morgan.
Ye.
Why do I feel like people are itching to be like, I want to investigate the house?
Nah. Man's earned his right to secrets.
Just with the insight checks earlier, it's hard to imagine you guys aren't just like, I want to look at everything.
Maybe everyone else. Brimstone respects the man's right to privacy.
Elsie does not.
Of course she doesn't. I picture as soon as that door closes, she's gone. Somehow, in this small one-room cabin, she's just vanished.
Yes, Felsi just does a quick vroom, vroom. Just vanishes. Vibrates out of existence.
Yeah, it's just the Roadrunner dust cloud.
Alright, so if anyone is curious to look around, you can make an investigation check while the scene is going to continue outside. Probably going to go a little bit late tonight just because I'm wanting to have this talk more.
No, that's okay.
Darinche will not going to investigate, just more when as they're leaving, just want to do one more insight on Gregory.
All right, what are you looking for? Just trying to gauge his mood for the current situation.
Gauge his mood and try to determine if there's more of a particular more of that nervousness.
All right.
A 10.
10. He definitely does still seem nervous. You're not sure, again, you're not sure why, but he seems to have relaxed at least somewhat over the course of the discussion thus far, but he definitely is still being guarded.
Okay, then. No. When the two leave, Da Vinci would finish his tea, give it a few minutes, and then, like, see if he could at least see the two of them from the door. He doesn't have to be listening. He just wants to keep an eye.
Alright. So, Morgan, you and Gregory step out of the household.
Mm-hmm.
He walks you just a bit away, closer to the tree line as opposed to right on the house's side. That certainly is a cast in there.
Yeah.
It seems like you've made some good friends, at least. Even if some of them do look a bit weird on the 10.
They're good people, though.
I can tell. At least those two men are. The big lady, too. She seems nice. The little one seems like a scrapper.
Oh, she is. She's actually saved our bacon quite a few times in a fight. Part of her strategy, though, is making enemies think she's not a threat, and then... bam! Hurricane Failsy hits.
Fair enough.
As for the thing with the letter...
Sorry I didn't read it.
It's alright.
Frankly. Even if I did, I don't know if I would have believed it was real.
Not until you saw me standing in front of you trying to make a wise-ass remark, huh?
It's still sinking in, if I'm being honest. You spend this long running from something, it suddenly shows up in front of you. Would you believe it was real?
I mean... maybe. Depends on what that something is, though.
I suppose. I have a history of seeing things, so... He shrugs a bit. Even after I quit Aether, some of the sights never left me. Still occasionally see things when I close my eyes.
Like those creatures.
creatures. Faces of people I used to know. Twisted things. Stuff I wish I could forget, but I can't. I don't even know if I should. Someone's gotta remember it.
Yeah. If for nothing else, and to not let them become a threat again, right?
Maybe.
You're probably wondering how I have the different perspective I do now, huh?
I don't know. I don't know your perspective. You just know mine. Every person's got a different perspective if you think about it.
Yeah, well, thanks to my friends in there, I was given a chance to see those years from what I considered the worst years of my life from your perspective. Not to give excuses, but to grant understanding.
There ain't no excuse for it, like I said.
But I understand now. And her right hand is gripping her left arm.
There's
Yes.
a worldly tone to your voice, little shadow. I get the feeling I've missed much in your life, haven't I?
Yeah. There's a place in the Flagora Desert. It's called Mountain of Reflection. And when I went in it showed me things from your perspective. Including that one night. And, like, the grip on her arm gets so hard that her knuckles are going white.
Yeah.
Doesn't excuse the behavior, but I understand it a lot better.
That's why I never tried to come back. That's why I never had any right to.
You thought I was one of those things because the Aether were in your system, though. I understand why you acted the way you did.
It doesn't matter. Some stupid drug in your system shouldn't make you think your own daughter's a monster.
I've thought about how that scenario would have gone otherwise if you hadn't had that in your system and were sober. I like to imagine I would have very least been grounded for quite a while for having snuck out of the house to go see Willem.
It depended on the excuse you gave.
Yeah. Speaking of him, yeah, that ship sailed.
I thought it would. I never thought you two were a good match.
Yeah, well, I didn't find out until I was in my 20s.
Didn't seem like a terrible boy, but always felt something a bit weird from him.
He was controlling. Found out a thing about me that I can't do. That he wanted me to be able to do for sake of controlling me, and He called me less than worthless. I kicked him in the dick for it.
It's probably the least he deserved. I know your mom would have done far worse than me if I ever even considered saying something like that. Though she also knew she could afford to do far worse to me, given everything.
Yeah. I kinda took after you after that for a while in the not so great ways. Although I don't know if you'd laugh or be proud of me for this. One night someone offered me some of that Aether shit and I punched him right in the nose.
I never want that for anyone, so I am proud.
Hey, you got a little chuckle out of it too, so... It's the idea of me just punching someone in the nose is funny.
As long as they deserve it.
They were being pushy, so they did.
Anyone willing to sell that stuff knowing what it does to people deserves it. And anyone who sells that stuff knows what it does.
Yeah. I just knew that you were at your worst whenever you drank it. I didn't know what it did to you. So, it got offered to me, and I distinctly remember shouting "fuck you" before throwing the punch and almost setting off that special fire thing I can do. My
Good
better
for you.
judgment kicked in on the fire, not on the punch.
Probably would have still deserved it. I have to say though, you said something in there that has me curious.
What's that?
You said you came close to dying, but something stopped you.
Yeah. At my worst, I wandered into the woods, drunk on bad gin and cheap whiskey.
Terrible combination.
Yeah. I found this rather calm lake that I'd never seen before. And the thought came into my head that that looked like a good place to die. So I threw myself into it. I woke up the next morning on the side of it. And instead of being dead or there being evidence of anything bad happened to me, I had a sword.
That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't.
Thought I felt something strange about you.
She will show him the palm that has that mark on it.
He looks at it though, doesn't really seem to know what to make of it.
I've heard tale of others who've been in similar circumstances to me with this. I'm very lucky. What found me is very kind. She's very kind and seems only want the best for whoever currently has a pact with her.
That's good.
She doesn't demand much. Hell, she hardly even asks for anything.
Are you worried that she might be waiting, biding her time to ask you for something more than you might be willing to give?
Given what I've heard of what happened to others in my situation, I'm at peace with if that'll happen. By all rights, I should have died in that lake all those years ago. I was given a second chance.
Maybe you're a bit too much like me then. Second chance is a dangerous thing.
Yeah,
Especially when you're not sure what to use it for.
yeah. Not just second chances on life.
There's people in there. They seem like good people.
They are.
He nods.
I don't know if I want to get them involved with this, though.
I can almost hear it in your voice, though, that there's something bigger going on with it all. You haven't gotten yourself stuck in some kind of mess, have you?
Don't believe so.
Alright.
As for what was in the letter, though, I said in it that, well, I wanted to be able to talk with you, which we've done. And if there was a way I could help you with this, even if only while we're here in Petalfall or more long term.
I haven't any right to your time, even if you're willing to offer it.
Won't help,
Everything.
though.
Everything I did, be it of my own volition or not, it means I'm not worthy of it anymore. But if you want my time, I'll give it.
I want to help you with this. Even if only here and there while we're still in the city.
It's a bit sudden. I suppose the only thing I can really think of, perhaps, trying to confirm my thought. If the gods somehow involved with all this.
Don't
Trying
know
to figure out who's behind this illegal trade.
Don't know if I'd be able to do that in the time we'd be here unless I stayed here longer term and let them go on without me. Can at least see what information I could find for you in the meantime.
Aye. And that isn't a decision I could even ask you to make. If you wanted to do that, that can be entirely up to you and your friends.
Yeah.
I'll welcome you if you want to, though. I'll give you all the time I can manage. Maybe we can finally put an end to this. Once and for all. At
I
least stem it from the source. And hope the rest of it dies out.
just the illegal side of it, right?
I don't want to think about what happens if the legal side has problems. I just like to try making sure it doesn't keep ending up in desperate sods' hands, just so that they can take it and make horrible decisions with it. I don't want that for anyone. I really don't.
I understand that, even though my experience is only secondhand, I understand.
Aye. He sort of chokes back a few breaths, almost sounding like he might have been on the verge of tears.
She's just gonna pull him into a hug. That carefully and slowly so as not to be startling.
This time he actually does hug you back. It's been a long time since you felt this embrace. It's different now. But it still feels familiar.
I feel like a good and go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, if he was gonna say something, go ahead.
Alright. Eventually he does push away from you. Alright. Let's go see your friends again. I'm sure you need to talk to them.
Yeah.
I imagine they're probably rooting around in my house.
Oh, probably at least Failsy. She gets bored and curious.
Listen, if your friends are worth anything, they'll be rooting around in my house.
Fair enough. Yeah. As they walk back, she kind of wipes at her eyes.
Alright. And as they're walking back, Felzy, the only thing particularly out of the ordinary that you find is a bound leather journal. A small crate of them, actually. Nothing that looks particularly nefarious or devious or anything of that sort. Just a small crate filled with diaries.
Giving them a quick flick is basically just his thoughts and feelings.
Thoughts, feelings, records of what he believes is going on with the Aether trade and how it's changed over his time dealing with it. Apparently he's been through several of the major trade cities dealing with this, and eventually he found out that the source stemmed from this location. And this is where he's been for several years now, trying to get to the bottom of it. But his lack of connections has constantly been a source of issue.
Are we gonna get caught up in a drug cartel?
As you say that, and as Morrigan and Gregory return to the room, that is where we're going to end for tonight. Hope
Yeah.
everyone had fun.
Yee.
Bit of a heavier tone, this one.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah.
Just don't mind me. I am gonna hide my cardigan now that the scene is over with.
Don't hide in your cardigan. We need to wrap the session.
I am very easily able to come out of my knitted cocoon.
Ah, fair enough. Aren't all cocoons knitted?
Some can be
Some are
crocheted.
woven.
And yeah, some can be woven.
Alrighty then. But yes, that ends our session for tonight, everyone. I do hope it was a good time, even though the tone was a little heavier, but it's just a bit of a topic and something we've been building towards for a while, so it seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
But we should probably wrap for the night.
Yeah. Alright, so as per usual, before I do the big proper ending spiel, does anybody have anything they would like to announce, promote, or just shout out?
I'm good.
I just broke a glass with my hand. I'm good. I'm not bleeding. I just didn't expect myself to be that strong.
I know that feeling, but that's because I have nerve damage.
I'm good.
Yay! Nerve damage!
Yay!
I don't have anything to shout out in particular.
Fair enough, and
Other than people, this is a bit of a... there's something a little bit shout out, but this is kind of a serious thing. Do you ever feel like you need to talk to people? Just seriously, like, don't think that you ever have a reason that you shouldn't find someone to talk to. It's really important to get your thoughts and emotions out, and better to get them out and to speak to someone than to keep them inside and let them fester. This is a fantasy game, but these types of emotions are really, honestly, real things, and you need to be really careful about them. Always make sure that your mental health is kept in check and understood.
mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing I wanted to say to wrap us up.
Yeah. And on a lighter note, I know I said so at the beginning of session, but if I could toot my own horn for a moment.
Toot it!
I started a job today!
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I mean, it's just a little retail job, but I'm
Gonna
excited.
Get that bread.
Yeah. Well,
Gonna
I
get
need.
that bread. Buy some bread. Eat some bread.
Well, I have to fund my dice habit somehow.
I wasn't gonna mention the dice. I was only gonna mention the bread.
Well, that and also got to fund the cooking experiments, because there are some ingredients I do not want to ask others to purchase for me.
I'm just over here using all of my finances and coins that I earn specifically to buy myself bread and meat to consume.
Eh. E.
Oh, stretch.
Okay, well, with all that said, usual ending speech thingy. If you enjoyed this session and you'd like, to see what happens next with this group, you can join us on this channel most Saturdays at or around 8 p.m. EST for the next session of Scattered Realms. And if you like this group dynamic but would like something a little more modern fantasy, you could join us on this same channel most Thursdays at or around 7 p.m. EST for our game Project Ada.
Yee. Which we will probably be having a new member with us next week if everything goes well.
Yee.
We'll see how it goes. Though next week is also a downtime week, so maybe not.
I mean, what better time to introduce a new person than during downtime?
Certain circumstances might make that a little awkward. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, fair enough, which I still need to actually give you the type out of what my character's downtime is.
Yeah.
I'll do that after we sign off stream.
Yo.
Speaking of with that, everybody want to say goodnight?
Good
night.
Ah,
Good night. Sleep well. Remember,
smell
eat
like
your feet.
cinnamon.
Okay then. Good night, everybody. We'll see you when we see you next.